Hey family, welcome back to the Galactic Studio with Brother Rasan. We are working on part 5 of the Akashic Records, unlocking the secret universal knowledge and nature of the Akashic, including prayer, guided meditation, and Akashic tarot reading. Part 5, finding your purpose. Not every organism longs for a purpose, but almost all organisms find it automatically, except for humans. Trees, for example, exist in their own plane of energy and consciousness, breathing, inhaling, and branching into magnificent shapes. Their energy planes overlap with ours on numerous occasions, but their purpose hardly ever changes. They are always trees. Humans, on the other hand, can easily get lost through overlaps with other planes, organisms, situations, and inner energy. Finding a purpose can sometimes be a rocky and intense ride through various planes of consciousness and vibration. What makes purpose important? Before you try to use the Akashic Records to navigate the realms of personal spiritual purpose, you need to make sure that you know why you're looking for a purpose. When you're using the Akashic Records, you're trying to go deeper into many profound elements of our current life and older ones. And you've come to this plane to transcend and purify. This means that you always have to maintain a constant state of honesty with yourself. There's absolutely no way to find any karmatic truthful purpose without being completely connected to your true self. Knowing your current and perhaps future purposes will help you to stay focused and grounded. You will be able to see the precious elements and forms of energy that matter the most in your life. And many of those elements will begin showing themselves to you through vibrations, karma, or different forms of energy-based revelations. Once you're able to stay focused on your purpose for a long time, the energy intensifies. This simple purpose that you found for yourself suddenly becomes a passion. This burning energy can flow through your body and your soul, unshackling you from your restrictions placed on you in your past times. It's easy to recognize people who have known their purpose for years. They emanate energy and aura to those who are close to them. It's the clarity obtained through the shaping of their passion and purpose that makes them unstoppable. This kind of clarity isn't just used to advance a career or in learning a new skill, but also having the right kind of synchronized vibration to see the paths that are most suited for them. Personal records. The Akashic Records contain the path, energies, frequencies, and purpose of simulations of information that you've learned, not only in this life, but also in other lifetimes. These records are full of infinite vibrations that resonate throughout planes that transcend space and time, expanding the energy of the universe. For people who are looking for a purpose, they'll want to access a specific portion of their Akashic records to facilitate finding their path. This section is known as personal records. You can think of your personal records as an infinitely branching tree that casts branches of the entire previous dissemination of your previous experiences. And the energy and information contained in your future. Accessing personal records may reveal your past and current influences. In addition to the true direction of your soul on earth, while having a purpose is commonly thought of as consciously having it at the front of your mind, most of our soul's purpose that can compel us are not clearly in the conscious plane of thought. It is this deeper root of purpose that you're trying to find that most make you feel like you should have woke up this morning and seen each day as it has to offer. The spiritual purpose. Among the pursuit of early purposes, many forget that the spiritual purpose is essential in their endeavor. It is being in the background. People often think that pursuing it is a necessary effort, but the only kind of purpose that can allow you to release yourself from the shackles of guilt and inner turmoil is the spiritual purpose. Without this kind of inner peace and tranquility, your other pursuits and endeavors are bound to have less energy and vibrations that drive you forward in life. The spiritual purpose is closely linked with the sense of attachment you have to certain people, places, and memories. Consciously directing it will allow you to finally get rid of the habits of finding yourself in loops of self-loathing and destruction. Just as constantly picking at a wound will only make it worse, your personal purpose is finally tethered to your spiritual purpose, because psychologically you will always be a non-detachable part of your personal records. The personal purpose. The personal purpose is like an infinite river that passes through every small and big experience in your life. You may want to know the kind of career or skill you learned, but have you ever thought about the kind of emotional and mental life you like to lead? People easily start to have tunnel vision where they're thinking about their future and the kind of life they want to lead, focusing only on the small practical aspects instead of the major spiritual and emotional ones. Listening to your soul as it guides you to rid you of fears and worries holding you back is the easiest way to find true purpose. If you let the fears of the current and past lifetimes put invisible subconscious shackles on you, it will be hard to move forward through your personal purpose. You've learned to love yourself and have the courage to finally peek into the future where you don't feel threatened by guilt, worry. Your relationship and love lives are all a part of your personal purpose. Many not noticed it because personal purpose that can dictate how you perceive current and past relationships is not the type of relationships that matter, whether it's professional, romantic, or even platonic. What truly matters is how they connect with your personal purpose in this current life. Remember, you're not trying to force your way into the Akashic records. You're only trying to find your way to listen to what these records have been talking to you about for thousands of years. Being stuck, one of the major obstacles that people face when trying to find their purpose and talent is becoming stuck in the past. This is directly related to karma, which you've probably heard of through your interaction with others or reading about other religions. It seems that karma is one of the energies that a lot of philosophies and religions hinge on. A lot of people resort to the Akashic records to remove ancient roots that are grounding them from moving forward. It's impossibly hard to find the true purpose if you keep thinking about the past and letting it control you. The task of shedding your ego may seem quite overwhelming when you think about it at first, but it's not harder than removing illusions of the past. You need to think about what karma brings to your doorstep as an opportunity. Is it negative emotions, feeling stuck, loopy thoughts? They're all potential gates to unraveling what's truly holding you back from being in touch with your true soul. Tapping into the Akashic records for solutions will help you make interesting shifts in your life. The final goal is to transcend your karma, eluding what's been hindering you for many lifetimes. If you're not familiar with karmic entanglement, it is the sum of all karmic connections you have, connecting your karmic patterns. This entanglement is the accumulation of past experience through families, nations, tribes, and other patterns that can reflect your past lives and karma. You need to understand that your personal experiences aren't the only thing that affect your karma. It is actually pretty easy for people to get entangled in karmic patterns that occurred in the past just through the linkage of their heritage. Untangling karma. Feeling like a victim to earthly circumstances isn't going to help you find your purpose. In fact, it will only hinder you, as you will be looking to find your purpose through a very narrow field of vision. Once you feel that your life is completely out of control, you will be able to muster the required strength to face your karma and change your path. This is a very big possibility that what's stopping you is karmic entanglement produced by your past life. A common problematic effect of karmic entanglement is losing your true self of individuality and the independence as your soul becomes entangled with other big and diverse groups. This is easily observable when you start looking at people born into certain religions, or those who take on belief systems quickly without thinking about the consequences. They can easily become karmically entangled. Fighting this may seem like a harsh battle, but you suddenly feel lighter once you become untangled of the vibration that are bringing you down. And that will allow you to think from a higher plane that can help you change your perspective. Once you manage to get rid of your Akashic records, get into your Akashic records, specifically the personal records, look for karmatic entanglement associated with your family, race, belief system, and similar associations. Letting yourself be held down by such associations will only cause you to be upset with yourself, hindering your energy from vibrating properly. You're responsible for what you feel and the energy you produce. So make sure you take into consideration not getting too entangled or absorbed in the lives of others. The Akashic records and negative emotions. You need to understand that you do not have room to house all the emotions at the same time. This means that when you are in a state of constant fear or worry about certain things, you're taking away a big portion of space that happiness is supposed to occupy. But it's also not that simple. This occupation can cause many lingering strands of energy that can affect how you think for a pretty long time. Being constantly stressed and worried takes away from your happiness, but also blocks and incapacitates your ability to be able to identify happiness in the future. From a medical standpoint, fear and stress can deal a lot of damage to your psychological body. Unfortunately, this kind of damage can find a way to translate and transfer this damage to the soul. This isn't vague advice. Telling you to stop being worried is never that simple. But you should be conscious of the vibration and energy that you are allowing your soul to absorb. Your inner energy is not fragile, but it can be molded quickly into something dangerous if you leave it to circumstances. Akashic records heavily emphasize our ability to retrieve our divine essence from the shackles, constraints we put on it. You may not notice it now, but over time you will. Notice how the connection to certain stories and narratives can cause you to feel unpleasant feelings. And this means that it's actually a choice. You need to be careful not to polarize yourself on such wide spectrum. And you shouldn't detach yourself from everything to avoid feeling unpleasant feelings. Recognize your emotions and try to find the deeper cause that make you feel such unpleasant feelings. After all, the outcome of those feelings is dependent on how you respond to them. When we talk about reclaiming power, while you're viewing your Akashic records, you will find a lot of ways to respond to information. The key to reclaiming your power is to control how far it affects you. Letting your feelings blow out of proportion means that you are not tackling another issue. The energy that you've been blocking from circulating in your body and disturbing the natural and tranquil rhythm of other frequencies. If you find yourself getting too angry over matters you know very well shouldn't bother you much, then your soul is trying to release a lot of negative energy it has stored for a while. Once you see your emotions through the Akashic records, you will find that it is quite easy to analyze and solve a lot of situations that once gave you a hard time. Your energy shouldn't be zapped suddenly when you face a new problem. As long as you stay conscious and on top of your emotions, Don't let your inner victim take away the power you have to resolve issues. Sadly enough, this inner victim has probably zapped your energy in countless other lifetimes. But once you're able to see through the destructive pattern, you'll be able to see balance in the situation entirely. Our society barely gives us the time to think and act on our own pace, and then can cause you a lot of problems when dealing with your inner self. Utilize the Akashic records to access the timeline that you can never be affected by others. You'll be able to use your new gained energy to create joy in whatever you desire in your life. It's pretty common for people to stop in their tracks once they feel victims of circumstances that they are not responsible for. Thinking that it's fate or destiny that has forced misfortune upon them. Use the Akashic records to get out of this destructive loop that keeps you from being able to look forward and regain control of your destiny instead of being enslaved by it. The true depths of healing, self-realization, is the key that can unlock your healing process. Transcending karmic patterns is the true spiritual purpose that can help you attract joy and other pleasant feelings to your life. It is easy to avoid being tempted by the web of illusions that this earthly world offers. This is why self-realization comes into play. It will allow you to go into your Akashic records to heal the wounds of the past and connect future further with your soul. The current narrative could be part of the illusion that plagues this world. If you want to follow your true narrative, you'll need to recreate it from the beginning. You'll feel more powerful and in control of your life as you begin to rehash and reshape your karmic patterns. This Akashic record, the Akashic records are going to be your main link to the divine essence within yourself. This bond that you create will keep you on providing you with gifts, talent, wisdom, and power to help others see things for their true nature. While using the Akashic records, it is the only way to achieve what you desire. It's still the quickest because you've been healed and unhindered by the illusions of life. Staying focused on your karma while viewing your Akashic records will start a process of constant healing and gradually intensifying. The more you reshape and resolve your karmic patterns, your vibration will noticeably become more intense as you begin to transcend over earthly plane. Meditation. Meditation is one of the foundations of spiritual preparation. Before accessing the Akashic records, the first step is defining an intention. Using a laser-focused intention will keep you on your mark throughout your whole journey through the Akashic records. Since you're still starting out, try to simplify your intentions to keep it direct and easily recognizable later on. You can choose something that happened in your childhood, but it still bothers you. But it shouldn't be traumatic or a heavy experience. Setting the unwinding and untangling of this event as your target as you enter the Akashic records. Once you're sure about the intention, start relaxing your body through deep breaths and closing your eyes. The second most important step is going into a higher plane than the one you're currently existing in. Starting from your heart, slowly try to explain your sensations and expand them to engulf your surroundings. Your consciousness expansion can be sudden. It should be gradual because you can easily get distracted. If you don't move at a reasonable pace, your consciousness has the potential to infinitely expand, and it's been doing it for quite some time now. Before being born, during sleep, meditation, and death, you'll begin to feel calmer. The more your consciousness expands, if you start doubting whether you're reaching consciousness expansion or not, redo the process. If you suddenly feel like you see things from an outside perspective, it's the perfect opportunity to explore your Akashic records. Begin to slowly unwind the events and recognize where your responsibility lies. You'll notice that there is an extra space to let in joy, feel the happiness, and rejoice amidst the vibrations of joy. This is Brother Ra. Love bringing you the Akashic records and how to access them. For me, I've been able to constantly connect synchronicities from my past, my present, and my future. I'm currently making those corrections so that in my next life, I won't have to deal with them. That's what it's really been about for me. Making those corrections. Going back and looking at the ancestral karmic blockages that prevented me from reaching my higher self. Freedom is priceless. Once we understand that the only way out is to go within. It's Brother Ra's son, coming at you soon with the exclusive meditational headwear, with a book on self-healing that was given to me by the ancestors. It's just a matter of time. I'm going to bring it in with the new year. The joyous celebration. Just tying up loose ends. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be coming back with part 6. And that's how to heal. How to heal. It's very important. Brother Ra's son saying peace, love, and stay one with the universe.